If you're thinking about going crypto freelance full-time, this video is for you. I took the leap 1 year ago, and here are 15 things I wish I knew before I started out in 2024. Number 1, you don't need a huge audience. And this sounds relatively simple, but it actually is very true, because if you have the right followers, and the right followers will come if you do the content which is like specific around your niche, then those followers will come and you will only have to have a few followers which you can do business with to be the starting point of your journey. Maybe you don't go full-time like right away, maybe you just start out as a side hustle and grow from there. But having a huge amount of followers is absolutely not mandatory in 2025, because especially with the algorithm changes, these are tailored around content that gets to the people who are interested in what you do. See the For You pages we got. Number 2, your network is your net worth. And again, I know it sounds incredibly cheesy, but it really is that way, because I started out like as a hobby in Web3 doing Web3 wallet security stuff. And from that point on, I connected with a lot of people. So therefore, when I started out, my network already was at a certain amount of people, which I just could connect the dots with. So I actually knew about people who would be interested in some sort of content or social media work that I was trying to pitch to them. Number 3 is get paid in stables, and this is a game changer, at least it was for me, because in Germany we have something that is called Zuflussbesteuerung, and this means that you will have to tax the amount of money you received on a certain date, whether you took a volatile token and that volatile token took a 50% plunge afterwards. It doesn't really matter. You have to pay the taxes on the amount that you got on the day you received the payment. So you always want to get paid in stables, because it will secure your income and you don't want to have a volatile token as your number 1 income source. Number 4 is have an emergency fund, and emergency funds are especially useful when you're starting out. I wish mine would have been bigger when I started out, because as you can think, if you're starting freelance work in crypto, especially in a fast-moving environment like crypto where you might lose your job like the next month with a certain client or something, you want to have some buffer left so you don't have to go back to a 9 to 5 like if you have one slow month or maybe 2 in a row. So you're not forced to go back directly into any job applications just because you didn't have a well-going month in your favor. It will also give you the room to pay taxes, cover surprise expenses, and maybe buy tools that you need for video editing, software stuff, coding stuff, you name it. And also it makes your mental health a lot better, because if you're not just fighting for survival every month, you're doing yourself a big favor. Number 5 is aim for 1.3 or 1.5 your old salary at least, because going full self-employed, you have extra cost. You have health insurance, you have business fees, you have taxes, you have maybe chamber of commerce fees that you need to pay, so your expenses will be higher once you are self-employed, and this is something to take into account. Do not make the mistake and go and say, my old salary was $4,000 and now I only need $4,000 to do the same and make the same. No, you're not, because you're also liable for health insurance and pension and other stuff. Number 6 is set deadlines, and yes, this means even for yourself, because I myself struggle a lot when I just have like the free time, the freedom to do everything I want when I want. And therefore for me, I found that setting deadlines, even for myself to be working with, it helps a lot to stay more structured and organized, because deadlines just create momentum. If you just have the freedom to do anything you want, just like I said, like it's easy to just go and spend a day on X or on YouTube just by checking stuff, and then a day goes by and you didn't actually finish like any work that day. You don't want that to happen to you too often. Number 7 is use proper invoicing tools, and you want to write your bills on time. In crypto especially, you sometimes have payments that you get on chain, and therefore it's easy to forget to write a bill. But you always want to write those on time, because it can get very easy to forget them and forget about a bill. Otherwise, you just have to remember like months later, like what was this bill for, what did I do for a certain client, and so on and so on. This is a hassle you want to spare yourself, so write invoices invoices on time. Also, if your software sucks or the support sucks of the software that you're using, make no mistake and just switch. I already did that for my bookkeeping software because the support was just insanely bad. Number 8 is good tools save your time and your sanity. And this is actually true when you're talking about crypto again, because in crypto, the one thing you want to do like very early on is get a tax software for crypto so you can just track what happened on chain, what were payments that were actually like happening to you on chain, which are related to your business. Especially when you are like me and you're paid in USDC, but you have to invoice in euros. So you have to like do all the calculations and see which kind of amount totaled in USDC, which came up into euros and stuff like that. So come tax season, this will be a total game saver for you and will save you days and probably even weeks. Because if you don't do that, you will probably have to justify some awkward numbers to your accountants, and this is something you want to spare yourself as well. Number 9, this is a social one. Talk to other people regularly. And I mean that because sometimes as a freelancer in crypto, maybe a day goes by or even a few days go by and you realize, hey, I haven't talked to anyone like a person in real life in a few days. And to me, I'm not a mother's tongue in English, so I'm usually a German speaker. And you just find yourself typing English all the time and not actually speaking a German word to anyone. Find some people who are like in the same boat as you, maybe some freelancers, not even in crypto, but doing other stuff, and just keep a social life going on, because it's easy to hide in your cave and never come out of that cave. But this isn't something you want to do to your mental health as well. So keep your socials alive and speak to people, talk to people regularly. It will also help you getting some other perspectives on your point of views too. Number 10, this was a biggie for me. Learn to say no. Because you didn't leave your job to say yes to energy drainers, and especially not to wallet drainers. But if a client relationship or sponsorship or project that you're working with in general doesn't feel right, just walk away and trust your gut on this one, because you're building this freelancing stuff actually for you, and you're not just rebranding a 9-to-5 into freelancing mode where you have to say yes to everything that comes your way. Number 11 is get your tax ID situation right. And this is especially important if you are in Germany, because this is what I'm relating to. If you're in Germany, you need to get an Umsatzsteuer ID as soon as possible, because this will help you with VAT handling. It will make you eligible for input tax deduction and helps with EU invoicing in general, because we always have these reverse charge transactions in Europe going around. I started as a small business owner, which is a Kleinunternehmen in Germany, and I wouldn't recommend anyone to do that again. Number 12, health insurance and retirement are now your job. Especially in Germany, you want to notify your health insurer early on, because this can take some time. I know what I'm talking about. It took me like several months to get this sorted. Plus, you're now covering the pension contributions yourself, which means you have to take care of that. Take care of your pension stuff, because in Germany, you're not actively contributing to the system anymore if you choose not to. So wherever you are, do your own research on these both important topics, because this doesn't take care of itself anymore, and you really have to pay attention to health insurance and pension, because these are big ones if you miss them. 13, sell outcomes, not hours. Whenever possible, I advise you to sell an outcome instead of your hours, because if you're working for multiple projects at once, it will get a pain in the to be actually tracking your hours and minutes across variable projects. So if you can sell an outcome, for example, do some kind of package for a social media support that you're doing for a page, then do that instead of selling your hours, even if your hours might get you a better rate, because as you move on and as time processes, you will get better at your job. And if you're getting paid in hourly rates, you might make less than if you're just selling packages and outcomes to your customers. Number 14, this is a learning that I had along the way, post-platform native. This especially means on X that video content right here, it isn't performing well. So if you're on X, stick to written text and just go with text and threads, because those easily outperform any videos that you're gonna be doing, unless it's a super viral piece. But these are very rare occasions. So if you're on LinkedIn, stick to text. If you're on Twitter, stick to text. If you're doing TikTok or if you're doing Instagram, videos are fine, images are fine. But always have some kind of understanding around the context of the platform and post in a native manner. Last one on the list is number 15. You never start from zero again. This means in crypto, especially in crypto, where it's like fast paced and everything can go to zero, like tomorrow or today, we will never start at zero again, right? The skills that you acquire along the journey, for me this has been English, copywriting, video editing, social confidence. You will never lose those skills. Like even if everything goes to zero tomorrow, these skills will stay with you and will stick on you. So you will never start at zero again, even if you are forced to like choose another niche or content field that you need to do work in tomorrow. Last one, this is a bonus tip, and this is actually not a tip, but I have spent 1 year out of the corporate world now, and I have zero regrets of making the leap. For me, the real driver was to be afraid that I looked back on this with regret and told myself like, hey, what if I just tried? What if I just took the leap and took my shot to try to build something that is for me, where I work for myself, where I freelance with clients and customers and projects I want to work with, compared to the usual 9 to 5 that each of us probably is doing. Not gonna lie, some days are harder than others in the past year, but not a single day in the past year has actually felt like work to me. So if you're thinking about making the leap and go full-time crypto freelance worker, this video might be for you. You can share this with your friends. Maybe you know some who are thinking about making and taking the leap as well. In the last year, I've worked with some great clients like Fairsight, The Boring Security DAO, Chain Patrol, and especially these guys, Revoke.cash. You might have seen the video and the tutorial video on my channel before. Thank you everyone for watching. If you are in a similar situation and you had some great takeaways from the video, drop them in the comments below and let me know which was the most helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments as well. Happy to get in touch and have some kind of chat about you and your future resources. Take care.